Oh, misfire. Gotta unmute, Aurora. But hello, my Battlesnake friends, my comrades, my colleagues. It is I, Aurora, here to do another deep learning episode with you. So if you haven't seen a deep learning before, deep learning is the Battlesnake show where we do a bit of a deep dive into like an educational topic about Battlesnake, of which there are many. So for starters, I want to open by saying thank you to our Battlesnake 2021 partners. We have AWS, RBC, and Replit. These fine folks help support Battlesnake and allow us to make fantastic shows like this. So I'm really stoked to have that, have them be participating in the Battlesnake world and let us do that. I'd also like to throw out an option if you're into Battlesnake, you're into deep learning, and you have a topic you'd love to see covered on a deep learning episode, let me know. Send us a message in Discord or in Twitch, drop some hints, and let us hear what you have to say. So today I'm really excited, actually. So today's topic, we're going to talk about putting in an observability system into your Battlesnake. This is like some top tier senior developer stuff. And arguably, one could say it is over-engineering a Battlesnake. But to those people, I say they're foolish. There's no such thing as an over-engineered Battlesnake. Battlesnake is our playground. And today, to do this, I have the fine, wonderful Penelope, who some of you may know. Penelope!
Apparently, we're all doing the mute misfire today.
I feel like you did it on purpose to make me feel better, so thank you.
Yeah. What's up, memers and dreamers? It's your girl Penelope here. Let's write some code.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, maybe you don't really need an introduction, but I feel like I should really showcase here a little bit, lay down the credentials, show that we mean business here. But Penelope, your Battlesnake is doing very well in Fall League at the moment. If I scrolly downy here, we'll forget mine. Basic strats is like a pace car, and you want to beat it. But popping down here, looks like currently you are in gold. No, wait, what? That can't be right.
Yes.
Oh, it is gold. It is gold.
13th place.
Man, yeah, the point system and the changes between the leagues. But yeah, 13th points here. Very positive showing, and we've got a variety of games. It's getting tough for your Battlesnake here, hey?
Yeah, I mean, one observation I have had is that like because of the zero sumness of the leagues, right? Like, and that there are fewer total snakes than Summer League. Like there are fewer snakes to pull points off, right? Yeah. And so like the closure of the sum of points in Gold Plus is like much lower than it was in Summer League. And so yeah, like climbing has been hard. I actually came in I think like only very slightly earlier than we're at now in Summer League, and I was already like all the way up. Because there were just more points to farm, right?
Totally.
But yeah, no, placing number 13, even in Gold League, feels pretty good.
This is highly respectable. I mean, like, shall we point out my pace car at 126 here? So this is pretty excellent. And of course, you stream on your own channel, your Battlesnake development. You do that all in the open as a good Battlesnake community member.
I try.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance to see Penelope stream yet, definitely check her out, twitch.tv, Penelope Zone, and your Twitter handle here, of course, as well, at Penelope Zone. So easy to find, easy to follow, easy to become a fan. High recommend. So where all of this kind of triggers for me is you did a tweet like a while back. You're like, okay, it's time to add Honeycomb to my Battlesnake infrastructure. I guess it's large enough. We need observability now. And I was like, yes. Because I actually really, I'm really excited about Honeycomb as a product. It's an observability system that's very interesting. And I was just basically hoping someone would do this. So maybe tell us a little bit about your thought process. Like, what got you to this point? What was the trigger?
Yeah, so I mean, in my day job, right? I'm a staff software engineer at Stripe, and I do reliability on the Stripe API. So like I have like a toolbox of like things where I see problems, and it's like, okay, we've done this exact solution before. Like And basically, I got to the point where my Battlesnake infrastructure was running a high enough count of machines where I was like, sort of out of the box style observability is not super helpful anymore. So if you could go ahead and throw up my browser, I think this is probably the only time today we'll throw up the browser, or maybe as we.
Oh yeah.
Wait, that's that's a different tab to the one I thought.
Oh, is this the wrong one?
No, it's fine. You can go ahead and keep that up. So I'm using so I am building a machine learning snake that is not the snake that is currently in the league. So DemiFem is a naive implementation of Monte Carlo tree search, which has some advantages and disadvantages, right? In particular, Monte Carlo tree search doesn't know anything about the domain, and so it's pretty weak in very open positions, right? It can't distinguish meaningful moves in open positions. And so, I was reading various sort of like reinforcement learning and game playing papers, and I read the AlphaGo Zero paper where they basically build a machine learning reinforced Go Monte Carlo tree search. And to do it, they're like, yeah, we just played like millions and millions of games of Go. And I was like, okay, cool. So I need to play millions of games of Battlesnake. And as you can see here, we've processed in the last couple of months about, how long has this been up? So in the last 34 days, this distributed system has played 115,000 games of Battlesnake.
So you're the reason we have to keep spinning up like new servers on Engine? This is your fault? Is what you're saying?
These are all my servers.
Oh,
right?
okay,
so
okay.
I'm not using your servers to play games, right? I'm running using the rule CLI, and I'm using Sidekick to do job coordination, right? And you can see here we have these sort of like big spikes of failures, but also some little ones. And these big spikes, I know what these are. These are due to just like transaction semantics of how my MySQL database is being managed. But these little ones, these little spikes, like this one here where we had 114 job failures in a day, that's an actual infrastructural issue, right? And the first time I saw this, I was like, what's going on? And what I had to do is something I've done before in naive infrastructures, which is SSH into each machine and diagnose the machine and get really sad, right?
And how many of these machines do you have?
There are 5 cloud machines. 6 cloud machines and a couple of my personal computers that are just running Battlesnake games continuously, right? I'm actually not running any at the moment for reasons, but usually, like you can see here, right, we have this very consistent, like long, like 1,000 games a day, 1,800 games a day, and like these games may last longer than a ladder game because I'm not running with timeouts. I'm letting the machine learning do evaluation on slower cores because I know that like when I run on a fast machine, it will be within the latency limit. So anyway, the basic problem is like this little red bump right here is a problem. And I didn't know why it was happening. It turns out the disk on one of the machines was full, but like, I hate the disk on the machine was full as a failure mode. It has caused some of the worst incidents in my life. And so I was like, observability time, right? Like Penelope, you're a real adult engineer. You like know how to deal with these problems. So like, yeah. And then I was going to do this on my stream, and then you were like, why don't you come do this on our stream instead? And so I said yes, and that's how we got to today.
No, I love it. And like, this is interesting too, because for anyone who may be watching the stream, who's like kind of in the earlier stages of their journey as a developer, and if you haven't had an opportunity to work on a system that has like a huge number of users or like a huge number of servers, you may not like realize how much work and how much challenge it is to sometimes debug production issues. Because you don't necessarily have easy access to the logs. And so often, I don't know if this is true in your career, but I've seen a lot of senior developers where their power is just, they are guessing their way to success. They are just guessing. They're like, is it a disk issue? And then they check. And then they just have like a checklist of guessing.
I mean, that was actually my guess the moment. It's funny that you bring that up. That was my guess the moment I saw this, but I had to, like SSH in a for loop is not a viable, scalable, like, systems administration strategy.
And there's times where you've done all your guesses and you're like, oh no, I'm out of ideas. Like
yeah, I would say it's interesting. Like one thing we sort of know from like literature around skill acquisition, like the Dreyfus model, is that like experts tend to attenuate signals very well, right? And so like I can look at this graph and instantly tell you it's a disk is full on one of these machines issue, right? And that's because I've been doing this for nearly a decade of my life at this point. But also you don't always have a Penelope available to you, right? And so you generally want to design your systems in such a way that you don't require somebody who has like well attenuated Jesus, I can't say attenuated today, apparently. Well attenuated understanding of these systems, right? You need one way I like to put this to people who I am teaching on-call practice to is like you want to optimize for like 4 a.m. you after your second shot of Pfizer. Like, let's imagine you've been woken up in the middle of the night, you've got flu-like symptoms because you just had a vaccine shot. Can you debug this production system, right?
Oh, man.
And I may be using that example because this literally recently happened to me. So yeah.
No, I fully agree with you. And like, this is some good deep learning material here going into like models of thought and process. I love it. This is perfect. But hard agree, like in the past life, I've also worked for payment processors, and that like pressure and having the one guy who knows the system inside out, and like, you can't wake him up at 4 a.m. every day. That's just, you know, employee abuse.
Yeah. So yeah, I wanna plug Honeycomb into my stuff. And I feel like I've actually never used Honeycomb before.
Oh wow, okay. Sweet.
Not once in my life. I understand the basic principles. And like it's funny, I actually have read the open telemetry in Ruby spec more than I've used Honeycomb, because that's kind of how I roll in my life. So yeah, we're just gonna go to honeycomb.io and start doing things and see what happens.
Yeah. So I have a pre-prepared description. So for folks who aren't sure kind of what the landscape looks like. So Battlesnake, of course, is a web service system. So it's a perfect opportunity to safely practice these skills of using tools to monitor your systems and like monitor everything. And there's a lot of tools out there, really. I've used Datadog in the past, which is really great for collecting and aggregating information. We use New Relic at Battlesnake as well, which kind of gives you like a high level health. It can tell you what systems are up or down. You know, there are a lot of like great logging tools. I have piped server logs into Cabana and had like dashboards created of saved searches of information. Where Honeycomb kind of comes in is they have like a bit of a secret sauce where they are able to store like incredibly high cardinality data. So kind of imagine you're sending event information, but you're sending way more and with like way more detail and dimensionality than most of the other standard tools out there do. And in fact, in a previous job, we were using Datadog, and we had put so many tags on our data. We got an email from them telling them that we couldn't do it anymore. Like we had reached our maximum, which was a shame because we really needed that information because we wanted to split our data by like country and user and like what account they were and things like that. And we just kind of like hit a maximum. It's Honeycomb is very cool because it like stores all this data in a very like high cardinality way, and it allows you to interact with it pretty much any way you want. So the core of observability, which is a big buzzword right now, is that a system like Honeycomb lets you observe like the current status of a production service, probably literally like multiple services like Penelope's Battlesnake setup. And it's really, really useful for things like incident response, really, really great for monitoring performance and just helping to understand what like normal even looks like for your services. Which can aid everything from business decisions to like making sure a deploy goes out smoothly. You can use it to set up like service level objectives, which is like a whole other cool, fun topic if you're really big into incident management. And you can use it to set up like alerts and triggers and even document and see kind of what happened during an incident. That's why I'm interested in this. So if you are a new Battlesnaker, do you need to do this to your Battlesnake? No. But you might want to do it for fun and for learning, because this is like a really relevant skill, and it's a skill that's hard to get practice at unless you're like on a team who's already doing it, essentially. That's my ramble there. If you are interested, I'll pop a blog post into chat. If you are interested to like learn and read about observability, Charity Majors, who is the CEO, I believe, of Honeycomb, writes a lot about what observability is, and the kind of space and what tools and things are available.
Yeah. So the Honeycomb homepage just leaked my API key to the entire stream. So I just rolled the API key like 4 times while you were talking there because it kept showing.
That's cool.
Initial feedback might be, hey Honeycomb, it would be super great if we could have a like hidden by default click button to reveal behavior. But I just rolled my API key, so hopefully nobody... Also, everyone in the Battlesnake chat is nice, right? So hopefully we don't have to worry too much about that. So yeah, we're going to throw some Honeycomb into the sidekick, which is Ruby. Actually, let me just drop my API key in a nvarc file so we don't have that problem again. And then we can start doing some stuff. Yeah. Sorry, I need to edit this.
No, all good. All good.
Key equals that. Allow. Close this tab. Maybe I should just roll the key after the stream out of an abundance of caution. Anyway, okay, I'm ready to go. So sweet. I've never integrated Honeycomb with a Ruby application before. I've actually barely read this documentation page, so we're kind of coming into this fresh, which I super love. So add the gem. It's not a Rails app. Add your own initializer. Yep, that makes sense. Add some stuff to a thing. Start a span. This is not the open telemetry spec, which is interesting. Rack builder. We don't need any of that. I will explain a little bit more about what I'm doing here in a second. I just want to load the shape of this into my brain. Augmenting or scrubbing. Extremely relevant to my professional life is removing credit card numbers from logs.
Totally.
We actually, it's funny, at Stripe, we have this whole like infrastructure whose only job is to ensure credit card numbers don't make it to the place where they could even ever show up in logs, right?
Totally.
Most Stripe developers never have access to credit card numbers internally, and I think that's for the best. Cool. Okay. We should go ahead and add the gem. That's an easy one. Gem file. Oh, you should switch. If you could switch to sharing my IDE.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be the highest leverage. So we'll go ahead and throw this in the gem file.
And this is the machine learning code. So the system that is generating all of your games and like doing the training.
Yeah. So actually, maybe just to get very slightly into that. So when I want to generate training games, I run a script which puts a bunch of work in a queue. This is the code that actually pulls that work off the queue. So I store my models in S3. And so what this is going to do is like pull one of the jobs out the queue and then actually call into my Rust Battlesnake to actually run a training game. So this Ruby thing is what's actually like causing the games to be run, and then my Rust program actually contains the logic to do like snake evaluations, right? So like, and then actually the Rust program also embeds the Battlesnake rules engine inside itself. So like we call into the Battlesnake CLI Go thingy to actually run the games, and so we have this like nested turducken of programming language, because we have Ruby that calls Rust that calls Go, right?
Yeah, for
But
the rules.
the reason for this is that like the Rust server that runs the training games is the exact same Battlesnake server that I run in production to actually play games, and so I know there's no delta between the code. If I was doing this like model training in Python, it would be a little bit more complicated. So that's why I have this like weird Turducken of programming languages. I just like saying Turducken. Okay,
Yeah.
so we added the Honeycomb
The gem
gem
file?
to the gem file.
Sweet.
It's right there. Now we need to bundle. My training infrastructure is appropriately called Battlesnake Dojo.
Yes, I like it.
Cool.
Man,
So
I mean, that's what I would want to call it if we haven't had a chance to build one of those tools internally, but you know, that's the name you want to use.
Honeycomb added libhoney, the beeline, HTTP library. Okay, that looks fine to me. Cool. Now we actually need to write some code. We need to initialize Honeycomb. This can go in config initializers. Initializers, new file, Honeycomb.
Nice.
And then I will copy paste from their example and Honeycomb. What did I call it? Honeycomb API key.
API key. There we go.
Yeah. Cool. Great. And now we're going to not leak that. Actually. Okay, I actually don't know if that's quite what I want, but will. The reason is like this Ruby infrastructure is not just powering the job runner, but I actually also do have a like view for comparison index. I actually do have a table where I'm evaluating the relative strength of models, and this is like rendering HTML. Right. And so like I may want those things. I mean, it's probably one data set with different tags, but that is something to sort of be mindful of. Actually, a really interesting question here is if we do actually, can you just drop the screen share for my IDE for a second? I just need to check one thing.
No worries.
I'm going to try to not leak like more passwords and API keys.
For sure.
Wait, no. Post-critical Unicode. Yeah, okay, cool. You can resume the share.
Excellent. Okay, secret time is over. Yeah.
So in this Rails app, like we have test and development databases. So like I have Battlesnake. I'm really struggling today.
That's okay.
Development and production databases, right?
Yeah.
So like I have my development database, which has some tables in it. How do you list tables in Postgres?
Oh man, yeah. This is the thing is I've used the command line tool for Postgres all my life, and I still have to look up literally every command.
It's D. So we have training round games. This is like the main table. And so one of the nice things Rails gives us is it gives us different environments. So I don't need to impact my production environment to do testing. So actually, let me just check.
Awesome.
Rails env is development. It is. So if I say Rails, oh no, I want bundle exec sidekick. Just want to confirm, like, this doesn't explode. Oh wait. We need to do one more thing.
Yeah.
I have a development sidekick that's like
yeah.
It's funny. I haven't done development work on this machine for a little while, so
yeah, all of the tools are in the wrong place.
Let's do
I mean, I definitely think starting small, like with the multi-environment, you've got your dev and I guess your dev and production database. Are they on literally different
No,
servers?
the Devon production database are on the same server
Okay, okay.
I'm doing I'm doing a lot of not best practice in Battlesnake. I think it's fair to say. Let's do
Well, I mean,
this.
how much money do you want to spend on your Battlesnake? I think that's a very real question to.
Right. Yeah, for sure. But what we can do is CD Battlesnake, mono repo, just that's fine. Bundle exec Rails S. I basically just want to. Oh wait, and then that's going to be. Up. Oh my god! I just kind of want to make sure everything boots after we've added Honeycomb. Like this is a good place to start. Is like does the server even start up after we've added Honeycomb? But despite being a decade-long Rails developer, I can't change the default port. I apparently forgot how to do that at one point in my life. Oh, I know what's going on. I should have my programming license revoked. Actually, is what's going on.
I don't know. That's that's a really unfortunate precedence to set.
Okay, cool. We can do this. I believe we can do this.
Mm-hmm. And this is like just sort of like looking at this. So following the routing, I mean, this is one of the things we can get in a Honeycomb, which is really nice, is we can follow like a request or an interaction between multiple services, which is oh so handy.
Okay. Yay!
We got there.
We did it, and this is now our development infrastructure. So we no longer see thousands of jobs. Okay, great.
Sweet.
That's. I basically just wanted to validate we didn't break anything, and we didn't break anything. Is the good news.
I mean, that's a good practice.
Yeah. I'm like an okay programmer, so like okay. Let's write some actual code now.
Yeah. Let's get that.
How do we use Honeycomb? Start span. Yes. Okay. I'm just copy pasting out their docs right now, so we don't need to switch back to the browser. I don't think. Oh, we have an error condition here. This is actually great. We can instrument the error condition better.
Nice.
Start span. Let's do a neat trick here and say self.class.name. Can we just add arbitrary tags here? Oh, I bet we can.
Yeah. I mean, I think you want to have a fairly consistent structure across the board, but we're just getting started and experimenting. So I think there's something to be said for just throwing something in there and just seeing what we get in the console or in the dashboard of Honeycomb.
Yeah, I want to... this wants this. Because the other thing that would be cool is... Actually, this is probably a good place to start. Do I need to do anything to push?
I guess it depends what this Ruby plugin or module is doing for you. Like how much is it going to pick up from your framework auto magically?
Yeah, that's the thing. I want the smallest amount of magic possible. I am a strong believer in this case. Subscribe and use the default handler. Right key.
Yeah, let's see what the default handler does.
Add custom events, context to events. If you prefer to avoid the app namespace, you can adding spans to a trace. Active support, no, I don't care. Use Honeycomb, no. You could, it may be informative to switch back to my browser.
Oh, I
'cause
see. We're checking the docs. This is like when I'm talking to junior developers, I have to convince them that like when you're programming at work, you actually spend most of your time like this and like scrolling through docs and just being like, oh, what am I doing? And then like maybe 10% of your time is actually spent typing. This is real programming right here.
Wait, so how do I just send a yeah, okay. Okay, no, none of this is quite what I'm looking for. Let's have a look at the examples.
You're using cracking open the docs now too. You're doing the beeline.
Yeah. I just see. No, see, all of this is using like framework code, and it's not showing just like maybe the answer is you don't need everything
just start adding the fields you want.
Okay, actually, I have an even simpler way that we can test this. Actually, like we can simplify this down to something very so I have this main.rb, which like is just a command line utility for manipulating the queue that I have.
So there's going to be a whole bunch of data right at that moment in time.
Well, it doesn't even matter if there's a bunch of data, right? Like I should theoretically be able to send Honeycomb just just wrap the entire script in a thing and see what happens, right?
Nice.
So let's do this. So if I just say Redis URL equals the dev Redis URL, and then I say Rails are main.rb, that might actually be enough. Spans must have a name. Okay. I mean,
so I feel like in the context, it's this whole queue. That's the span.
No. So the span. So a span would be when we call start span, we are in this context, we will actually also be implicitly starting a trace. Because we won't have a parent trace at this point in time. And so this will implicitly start a trace for us. But I'm saying we can start with something even simpler, which is let's just make, like, this should theoretically send the execution of just running main with no arguments to Honeycomb. Nothing happened. Let me go over to my Honeycomb tab in my private browser, lest they leak my API key again.
Yeah.
And I have data. I have data now.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Can we see? Can we see?
Yeah. You should be able to see it now.
Oh man. Oh, ooh. Hello. Interactions.
So what is? Oh wow. There's a bunch of tags on here already.
Yeah, I was wondering if it would pick it up, I guess either just from Ruby context or from if you're using a framework there.
I am using Rails.
Nice. It's even picking up Redis.
Did it infect? Did Honeycomb infect my all my stuff like in my Rails app without me asking it to?
This is just its default behavior here.
It looks like it did actually, that's hilarious.
I think the biggest barrier to getting started here is that Honeycomb is going to do a lot for you, and we're just too nervous to allow it.
Well, I also care a bit about like I'm actually okay. This is fascinating. How do I filter to just?
Yeah, 210's asking, did it patch all of I/O, which might That would be a good reason, or that would be a way for them to do it.
It looks like it did. Add a heat map in visualize. I don't know what that means. Visualize to start. My history, team activity. So what do we have here? Bubble up, traces. Okay, so it's actually tracing a bunch of Redis calls for me, which is kind of nice, I guess. Wait, why do we have 2-second Redis calls?
Already we're debugging. What is this? Where did that come from?
Yeah, this is fascinating to me.
Honeycomb, exposing problems you didn't know you had yet.
Okay, so this came from the rail tie. So this is unattached. I know. Okay, so oh god, this is immediately giving me a lot of ideas, actually, for things we could be doing. So Honeycomb is claiming, for better or for worse, that something in our Sidekick infrastructure is taking 2,000 milliseconds to query Redis. And like right now it's not especially useful because wait, what? Okay, this is actually way more interesting to me than the thing I wanted to do with Honeycomb today.
I mean, it's enough to be worrisome, but small enough that you probably won't notice, which is really cool.
I think what we're seeing is this thing polling. I think what we're seeing. Oh, interesting. This is a bunch of like startup activity, and then we have like. Okay, should we get back on track?
That's okay. This is fine. Let's take this journey where it goes. I mean, I'm kind of curious because like I'm pretty impressed at how much it pulled in automatically, because anyone who's had to like hand write their logging so that they could produce their own dashboards, like that's a really labor intensive process. Just being like, okay, I need to check when I'm connecting to the database. I need to check when I'm, making an HTTP request, and like putting the hooks all around that can be a lot. So this doing it for us, to me, I think is cool. But I think you can also I am certain you can also start adding your own data. So I'm just looking at the docs, and once you've got your span, you can add fields to the span, which will add contextual data.
Yeah.
So like that might be a good place to put things like the Battlesnake game ID or like whatever else.
So
maybe which machine learning model you're running right now.
Yeah. This is very much what I want to do. So name what I want to do, like the reason why this data is less interesting to me is this is very clearly just some kind of like background radiation stuff. And like I actually kind of like, I'm not so interested in background radiation. What I actually care about is like the stuff that's going on in here, right? So actually a really simple thing we can do is put something in the queue. So if I come back to my development Sidekick, the queue is currently empty, and then we can pass some flags in, create training round with n games 3, and then we need to give it the model URL with model. So let's do more than this because we're going to break this a bunch of times. With model from S3 equals gross generation 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 f.pb. This should dump a bunch of stuff into the database. It dumped a bunch of stuff into the database, and now, yeah, cool. We currently have no Oh, we do have a worker attached. No, we don't have a worker attached.
Right.
So now what we can do is we can attach a worker, and we should start seeing spans with this sidekick name, right?
Nice.
So this is our kind of like hello world for our queue processing system, right? So if we come over here, we should now see some busy workers. But oh, something happened. Oh, we didn't pass it a bunch of command line flags that it need. Actually, this is good because now it's going to sit. Now it's going to sit in a queue failing, and we can like dig through Honeycomb generating.
Yeah, let's see those errors.
Yeah. We could actually tag the errors. Okay, this is good. This is kind of like, this is very much what I wanted to be doing. How do I where name equals... Yeah, look, our sidekick worker is there. So if I do this, you didn't specify any visualizations. How do I specify visualizations?
Ooh, on the left, there's like, I'm trying to describe this. In the top left is, can you click on that visualize? Yeah. Does that give us anything?
Wait. Oh, right. Heat map. Well, yeah, give me the heat map of the duration. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm having fun now. Aurora, thank you so much for inviting me on because now I'm having a lot of fun.
I'm really stoked because like I wanted to see this myself, right?
Yeah. So actually, one thing that's really cool about Sidekick is it uses a exponential random backoff for failing jobs. So we're gonna see like waves of retries now here in like 45 seconds, and I can force some in. So if I click retry now, and then those will immediately fail because I didn't set some environment variables. But if we refresh this query, we should see fresh data. And you can see now we're getting less data because we have this exponential backoff property that's going on, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense.
Okay, so now we can tag. Now we can actually do some tagging to deal with error handling and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Aurora, thank you so much for inviting me on. This is like genuinely super enjoyable. So I mean,
this is what I love about Battlesnake is this like nerdy deep dive into something, and it's like real tools, like your full powerful development tools, but with like our low stakes battle snakes, which are higher stakes in our hearts because we care.
Add field. I also have GitHub Copilot making suggestions here, which is... Let's do that and see what happens.
There we go. I got to be on top of the switches to the IDE. Here we go.
Oh, sorry. I added these two.
Nice. So an error, a success, and a failure case here.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So now if I restart and just... This should say something went wrong. This is also not... By the way, raise something went wrong is not what we in the industry would consider scalable error handling. But...
Best practices. Yeah. I have a developer test where I have a code sample where I do that, and I do like the Python equivalent, and I just ask people to code review it, and that's the weird selfish thing I judge on. I'm like, did you say anything about the try except pass? Did you?
Actually, this isn't quite gonna do it because we're getting a different error. So we need.
Is there like a base class? I don't know.
No,
I'm sorry.
I can do some egregious hacks, and then we can make it better. We can make it better later.
Yeah. Right now the goal is to see what we get in Honeycomb. So code crimes are acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, I love code crimes. Be gay, do crimes, etc. Raise E.
Nice. Flawless.
No, this is like she's trusted to run APIs that run tens of thousands of requests per second and also writes code like this. All right, now we're going to be in exponential random back off hell. So let's grab one and force retry it. And now we should have in Honeycomb. Stop popping up documentation. I want to do my own thing. We should be able to say where success hopefully hasn't reloaded the data yet. Success. Ooh. Did we do it wrong? Did the job simply not run? What's going on? Talk to me. Talk to me a little, computer.
Maybe context too. We might have to start a new query, or I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I think we just didn't pump any data in. There we go. We definitely pumped data in now.
Awesome.
Success. Yeah.
There we go. Oh, I love these shortcuts for exist does not exist. This is nice.
Oh, that doesn't seem right. Seems like that's not working. Is it add field? It is add field. And it takes... Huh.
Yeah, add field. Did you specify? So add field first param seems to be the name of the handler. And then...
Oh, wait. So... Oh, what's the bet? It does not distinguish success. Success exists. Success. What's the bet? It does not distinguish. Yeah, there we go. And those are all. Yeah, and so similarly, I assume if I say true, this will give me no events. Yeah. Okay. Now we should unbork the actual problem. What is the actual problem? Oh, wait, we're using Honeycomb. We should actually say what the exception is, right?
Yeah. Give it all. I mean, Honeycomb wants all of the data. It wants as much event information as you can possibly feed it.
Exception. Actually, they're using dots in their metrics names, I noticed. So let's do that. Dot message class dot name message. We want to log the entire backtrace.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh yeah. See, this is the thing that Honeycomb advertises is their exceptional large data handling. So I think we should throw everything at them.
Okay. I mean, if you really want me to do this, I will. I'm pretty sure this is a bad idea, but I mean, this is now the deep learning coding badly fusion stream, I guess.
I'm afraid of no consequences.
Okay, so we just threw the entire backtrace, and I mean, listen, this is going to be kilobytes of data. If they wanna accept it, we can do that.
I'm now Googling Honeycomb sending stack traces.
Oh, something
best
exploded.
practices.
Not found. Okay, wait. Block and perform. Honeycomb start span. I mean, we're still blowing up. Let's see if our entire stack trace has gone into Honeycomb or not.
I believe.
Results. So I want no visualization. Just give me a raw packet. Yep, there is a full Ruby backtrace.
I mean, if this is prod and you're not allowed to SSH into the server, you want this, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, now we have meaningful data.
Mm-hmm.
If I do some, no, I want attributes exception. It probably hasn't picked up on the attributes yet. Oh, it's all their prefix with app. That's good to know. App.exception.message. This is an actual visualization I would build. Can I say count? Yeah. This is an actual visualization I would build. So this is no, I really want a table and not I want a table and not like a time
Oh, there's
series.
graph settings on the right. Is that gonna give us some choices here?
Table? My kingdom for a table? Group by where and having... Oh, there it is. Sweet. That's okay. Let's make this... Should we see if we can make this actually run?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if we really wanted to be overachievers, overachievers pretending this is for real is we'd get some sort of like a threshold alert or something, but I don't know if you see anything obvious on the screen there.
I don't know if I want to do alerts right now, but I would be happy to. How long do we have left?
So we're at 2:00, so probably don't want to run for another hour, but I think we can do a few more minutes here. Yeah.
Okay, I want to make one thing succeed. I feel like if we make one thing succeed, that is really good. How do I do that though? Fine, we'll just use my bash history as a latent memory. Pray there are no secrets in my bash history. There are totally secrets in my bash history. It's fine though, because this whole infrastructure is actually isolated on its own VPN. So theoretically, no one can like do horrible things by seeing this. This is what we call not security best practices, even slightly.
I feel like there's no what is it, PCI group that would ever be like, oh yeah, you can stream your development work. That's just not gonna fly. Yeah, no PCI auditor is gonna let that go.
So this theoretically should succeed. And I know the word theoretically. Oh look, we got different explosions.
Different explosions? Okay. Oh, I'm trying to bring it.
Do you have
a honeycomb window?
Normal and expected, actually. Wait, something may actually be running right now. Nope. Wait, so what happened? Kiara Battlesnake training binary path, but I said it. Right? Battlesnake training binary path. I'm so sorry. What was that you said?
Oh, I was just confirming where you were working.
Oh, I'm working in my IDE.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I got there eventually.
I said retry. Failed. Do I have a spooky ghost worker somewhere in my infrastructure?
I mean, this should reveal it.
Not if it's running.
Not implemented, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. I think something else was pulling jobs. I think that's what was happening. Okay, we exploded. Oh. Couldn't create. Do I have the URL wrong? I just really want to see this work. It's fine. I'm pulling like I'm most certainly Rails are. I'm most certainly kind of just pulling stuff out of nowhere right now to see if we can make this work. That's not what I wanted at all. Please, computer, please. And actually, let's just delete the queue. And sorry, I know I'm switching back and forth, and that makes things a little difficult on your side, but this I'm hoping will work. It didn't crash.
It's looking better.
So this is now going to run the Rust program for like a minute or two. Okay. And this is the same machine I'm running my production Battlesnake on, which means my current production Battlesnake is being completely starved of CPU while we do this.
We'll get it back. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Okay, but like, let's talk just a little bit about what's happening here, right? So this model got pulled from S3. The Rust program is currently running. I'm expecting it to succeed, and so we will see a success true job in Honeycomb. If I was going to take this into actual production, I would now pass the current span ID into this open3 capture 3 call, which is invoking my Rust program. And then I would set up Honeycomb in my Rust program to then trace like fetching from S3 and other operations it's doing. And then I would have this like really nice measurement in my infrastructure of like this whole training system. And I actually probably will do that on my next stream. So if y'all want to see more, come to my stream on Saturday morning.
Nice.
Yeah. Does anyone in the chat have any questions while we're waiting for this to cook? Actually, we can see how sad the CPU is on this machine.
Yeah, you're really working it there.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. I mean, personally, I'm just kind of impressed. Like, it was just like a handful of lines of code to already get this far and to already get this much information. That common base info.
If you switch back to the browser for a second, like, I'm very impressed. Like, if we disaggregate these results, wait, why are you? I deleted this. There we go. Thank you. Did you put it back? No, I just. They really don't want you to. App.success equals false. If I run this, I'm very impressed that like it was very easy to just throw like this is a very big field, right?
Yeah.
And they just kind of deal with it. They have exceptions. They have actually, this is interesting. Honeycomb has captured the exception for me, which is kind of nice. I'm curious what active support, AWS, etc. Like I'm not running on AWS, so that's curious. What else is in here? Span ID, trace ID. Actually, if I do this, I presume, yeah, we don't have like nice span breakdowns yet, but that's something we could add.
As we add spans, yeah.
Yeah, and we're still running this game. Like, this is one of the things about building a machine learning snake is you need to get ready to spend like tens of thousands of compute hours running Battlesnake games. Yeah.
This is awesome. No, it's nice. And then like just adding more, like this is the default parameters that we're looking at. So very kind of like low level server, standard health metrics here, but we can just start adding whatever else we want. I mean, we could definitely start tracking and seeing like how are different servers operating compared to others. Do we see problems on just one server, or maybe we see problems? Like you could start putting, you could start putting like wins and losses, like game results on your models, and then start comparing those. I'm
and actually, like one thing I would say here is why I wanted to do this is to spot deviances between machines, and now I have places to like basically my actual plan, if you switch back to my IDE, is to throw. Actually, our job just popped. But like, I will have like CPU info in here, and then I will do this. So cat proc CPU info in Linux gives you a bunch of information about the CPU you're using. So I'm going to extract like core counts and that sort of thing, and that will be helpful. But if we come back to the browser one last time, we should have a success equals true job. We can look at and claim victory. Yep, cool.
Hey!
And it took what is that? 262 seconds. But we got there, right? And like everything looks happy. Yeah, I think that's probably a good point to call it.
Yeah, I mean, getting us going, get us installed, trying to see and play with this and see what we can do. It's very cool. So thank you for being vulnerable and doing all of this while people watch. I know
Yeah.
writing code is much harder when someone is watching you do it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, so I mean, we went from 0 to like something not unreasonable in like an hour, but like I think for me, actually, the next hour of stuff I'm gonna do is actually the most interesting. So,
so yeah, for part 2 of this deep learning, check out Penelope's next Twitch stream. That's
yeah, 10 a.m. Eastern on Saturday morning, and then we'll roll straight into Snake Pit Live. Yeah,
nice, a double feature. That's what we want, clearly.
Yeah, perfect.
Well, I mean, thank you for doing this with me, Penelope. Thank you for like taking Honeycomb for a whirl. I also need to once again shout out, thank you to our partners, AWS, RPC, and GitHub at Battlesnake for allowing us to do streams like this and pop this up. So Penelope, like with her tweet, she attracted me to her. I definitely wanted to see this Honeycomb integration. But if you have a topic you'd like to see on deep learning, please let me know. Ping in Discord or send an email to hello@battlesnake.com. It'll get to me. I'll hear it. And Fall League, maybe we should plug that just one quick last time here. Fall League is running. It's not too late. It's just not too late to join Fall League. We have 291 developers registered right now. So definitely hit up battlesnake.com. You can join Fall League. I think we have a Snake Pit live, on Saturday. And then it'll be on November 23rd will be the absolute final tournament. So yeah, check that out if you haven't already.
Come fight my demi-femme snake.
in the arena, the Battlesnake arena, where developers are pitted against each other. It's the true rendering of the hierarchy. There we go.
Yeah.
Brilliant. All right. Well, thank you so much, Penelope, and thanks everyone for hanging out with us.
Thank you so much, Aurora.
Bye-bye.